Hello, it's Steve Carter, and I am here to go over the pros and cons of buying new construction, because there's going to be both pros and cons. So, what better place to do this than right now? I am in an amazing home in Summerlin. This place is in Mesa Ridge. This home that I'm in is worth about $2.8 million, fully furnished. If you are interested in that home, you can just let me know. But I figured what better time than to go over the pros and cons of purchasing new construction. I'm gonna go ahead and say the number one pro of buying new construction for a lot of people is that no one else has lived in it. That also means no one else has died in it, no one else has pooped in it, except for possibly the construction crew that was installing your toilets. You never know. But for the majority, you're gonna be the first to do everything. So if you are crazy OCD or you're scared of ghosts, new construction can be a really good benefit for you. My home that I live in right now was actually a hospice home. It was built in '96. It's not a hospice home right now, don't worry. But when I purchased it, it was disgusting. They had like 6 photos on the MLS. Only most of them were of the ceiling and random parts of the rooms, but there were hospital beds still in there, and it just didn't show anything of its full potential. We ended up gutting it, getting rid of all the ghosts, casting some spells, and now we live in a beautiful home. And we were able to put our own touch on it. Which goes into the next pro of buying new construction is you get to choose. A lot of the builders will give you options that you can choose. Countertops, flooring, wall colors, maybe even adding a 4th bedroom instead of a 3rd. The list goes on and on. So if you kind of wanted to customize it from the get-go, you don't have time to get into a house and then live in a construction zone, new construction can be really good for you. Although that can also be a con as well, because the costs for new construction options can get quite expensive. So a lot of times I'll find my clients buying new construction, they'll try to do base level everything, and then they will be instantly, as soon as they purchase the home, they'll send in a contractor to then go and renovate the home how they really wanted to do in the first place. It's just typically less expensive. But if you don't have time for that, or you just want it done once and for all, then go ahead and go and use the builder's options. Another con can be limited options. This can be a pro or a con, but the builders, when you go to the design center, they're only gonna give you so many options. For you that aren't interior designers or you haven't done this a lot of times, it can be really overwhelming to just go through any flooring store, any countertop place. It can just be overwhelming. I know when we did it to our home, it was pretty overwhelming, and I kind of have a design background. When you go to a design center for a new builder, whether it's D.R. Horton, Toll Brothers, they're gonna give you still a lot of options, but they are gonna be curated to their taste. So you have fewer to choose from, which also means you have fewer to mess up on. And there will be a design consultation lady, we'll call her a lady because I've never seen a guy in there. They're gonna be there to kind of help you decide whether you wanted to put marble on your bathroom countertops, which you don't want to do because marble doesn't do well in wet areas, and they will steer you clear of that. Also, if your realtor like me has any design expertise, I could definitely come with you to kind of help you pick out some things and just kind of help you make the best decision so you're not kicking yourself for the next 20 years if you're in there that long. Another pro is the design, the aesthetics. You know, I purchased my home back in the 90s. It was from the 90s. I didn't purchase in the 90s, but it has that style. So even though I put a really cool modern aesthetic to it, and I'll show you pictures like the before and after, but even though I changed the outside, we painted, did landscaping, all of that, I'm still stuck with the framing. I'm stuck with the design architecture. A lot of the new homes, like the one I'm in here right now, are super modern. So if you want something really clean lined, really big windows, giant slider, 18-foot slider plus, the new construction might be where you end up finding yourself. You can still do all that stuff to a resale home. It's just a little harder, or maybe a lot more of a project than you're really willing to take on. Another con to buying new home construction is you're gonna have to finish that backyard. Typically, they're not gonna come furnished. When I say furnished, I mean done. The home I'm in right now is completely turnkey, so the backyard already has the pool, the landscaping, the barbecue area, but most of the time you're just getting a dirt lot, which means if you wanted to put a pool, roughly $40,000 for a basic pool. If you wanted to extend your patio, add some grass, it can get pretty expensive. So definitely look at that if a backyard is a priority for you. Window coverings typically do not come standard on new homes, so that can be a cost as well. Maybe you could have found a resale home that you liked that had the backyard done, and that also had shutters. I say that because my wife is fighting me right now because she wants me to put shutters on our home, and I can't do it, guys. It's just too much money. I would rather buy a motorcycle with that money. So you tell me who's wrong. $6,000 for shutters on like a 2,300 square foot house, or a new motorcycle for yours truly. That sounds really douchey, and I'm probably not gonna do that, but this is what we are fighting over right now. So any help would be much appreciated. It can be less expensive for the first few years to own a new home, that being maintenance costs. You shouldn't have to maintain anything. Most builders are gonna give you a good warranty on the actual build itself. I know a lot of them will do 5 to 10 year warranties. 1 year typically on the cosmetics, as if like your drywall started to crack or something like that past a certain point. They'll come and take care of it. All of your appliances are brand new. If it comes with appliances, your AC units are brand new. They all have their own warranties. Those are the big items that can go wrong when you're purchasing resale, and that's what can kind of get costly. If you don't care about that and you just want a beautiful home in a vintage neighborhood like I want, and you want to kind of add your own touch, then that's really cool too, and it doesn't matter. New homes are almost guaranteed to be more energy efficient than resale homes. So whether it's low E windows, more insulation in the roof and attic, maybe it'll even have solar panels already installed. I mean, there's a lot of really good options, and high efficiency appliances and AC units. That can be a big pro for you too. In Las Vegas, our energy bills do get up there in the summer months. It can be costly. So if you're already buying a home that's gonna be more energy efficient than something 20, 30 years ago, that could be a really good pro for you too. You can also do this to a resale home, but it is more costly. I'm also in the process of, I need windows, I need a bunch of other things, and I've already replaced AC units. So just kind of, you weigh the pros and cons. Do you want to live in a certain area, or do you want to have a new home exactly how you want it? Sounds like I'm rambling, but these are some of the options. I'm gonna get Diet Coke right here, sponsored by McDonald's. When you're purchasing a new home, the price isn't always the price. You might see these advertisements or billboards saying starting in the low 300s, priced at $550. For most of the builders, unless you're dealing with a discount builder like D.R. Horton or something like that, or KB, what the price is the starting price. Typically, you're gonna wanna add anywhere from 15 to 20% of the base price is what you're gonna end up spending in upgrades. So if you have a $100,000 home, I don't know where you would find one, but that's just for easy math, then you would probably try to estimate, maybe you'd be right around the $120,000 mark by the time you're done with all your upgrades. That does not include lot premiums. With the high demand in Las Vegas right now, builders are slowly releasing lots, which can cause a little bit more demand, and there might be a little bit of a bidding war in regards to actually, getting or procuring a lot for you. So that's kind of where the cost goes, but is what it is. Sometimes you have to wait. When I say you have to wait, what that really means is you might be in a new community really far in the outskirts of town, and you might have to wait for all the other normal conveniences to come out to you. Whether it's having to drive 10, 15 minutes for a gas station, grocery store, all that. If it hasn't been fully developed yet, you're gonna have to wait and you'll suffer the consequences of it. But you'll get in early to the community, which might make your savings a lot more. Once all those things come there, the demand will be a lot higher and the prices will, of course, go up. A community in Las Vegas I think of a lot that really rings true to that is Inspirada. Inspirada was started to be built in the early 2000s. They built half of it or so and then kind of just stopped. So to get anything, they didn't really have any grocery stores or restaurants or bars till very recently, and now there's starting to be a lot more demand out there. People are moving out there in droves, and it's kind of Henderson's Summerlin, if you will. If you are looking for gorgeous trees and greenery, new construction might not be what you're really looking for. If you see any of my old vintage homes videos, I am obsessed with the greenery. I think that's what really makes a lot of those communities. So you have lush grass, gorgeous large trees that have been 50 years growing. You're not gonna get that in the new communities. You're gonna get little saplings, and that's okay if you're okay with it, but just know. If a big backyard is something you're looking for, a new home might not be the solution. Typically, the new homes have a little bit smaller lot size, at least here in Las Vegas. So keep that into consideration when you are looking. So hopefully this will help you make the best decision for you and your family when purchasing a home in Las Vegas. New construction can be a great option, but so can resale. So if you have any questions, don't forget to leave them in the comments down below, and I'm gonna put my phone number. If you ever wanna shoot me a text, give me a call, or send me an email, go for it. I'm always here to help. Thanks a lot.